Hi, this is Josh from Shamma Sandals, and today on Run With Us, we are at the corner of Parkway and Prospect in Santa Cruz, California. And we're here because we're going to be running DeLaveaga Park, and it's a big loop, but this is a starting point, and we're going to take it from here. So let's get going up Parkway and find the gate onto the fire road. So we're running the I guess I call it the DeLaveaga Park loop. It's about a 5.5 mile loop, and there's a couple entrances you can take from the neighborhood here around. It's called Prospect Heights in Santa Cruz, but they're all going to lead up to this fire road that runs around the park itself.
This one?
Yeah. So at this point, we are on the fire road, and it's kind of a little bit of an uphill, a little bit of a mellow start. The cool thing is you get really good views of Santa Cruz, of the city, out to our right. Okay, so this loop here, the DeLaveaga loop, is something that I run a good amount. It's pretty close to my house. It's a nice 5 mile run. The run itself is pretty easy, except for about a 1 mile stretch. So a lot of this is just rolling hills, a little bit of ups and downs here at the beginning, but all the elevation gain, and it's considerable, is going to happen within like a half mile stretch. Coming up to our first junction here, there's another entrance to the trail from the neighborhoods. Off to our right, we're going to take a left here. We're going to head towards the Archery Range. No, it's fine. Beautiful dog. How many miles have we run, Willie?
Oh, probably 4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah.
You gonna lie to us like that?
I don't know. What do you really think we've gone? Like 1 mile?
Mile and a half, maybe.
I wish it was 4.
So, Willie, you realize that we're down here in the creek bed, and the road is really flat, and the trail is just lulling us into a trance.
And the place we're trying to go to is called Top of the World.
Top of the world.
Yeah.
So, what's gonna happen in about a quarter mile? What do we do?
The same thing we do every day, Josh, is run up a mountain.
Right on.
Okay.
I'm very excited about that fact, and it's gonna be good fun here. What I'm gonna do is give Willie the camera so that when we're running up this horrible hill, he'll have an extra weight in his hand. So it begins, the great uphill. So, charging up this hill, and when I think of difficult hills to run in Santa Cruz, this is in the top 3 from the runs that I do. This one, then there's the Pipeline Road. When you leave, it's, well, he says it's chief among them. It's really difficult, super steep, and it might be worse than this one. Other bad ones, another bad one would be if you keep running past the epicenter on Nicene Marks, there's an insane mountain
or hill there. So at this point you go through the parking lot, get onto the main road here, and then you're gonna have a Y. We're going left. We're gonna follow this up to the top, and when we get to the top, we're gonna take another left, and we're gonna reach what's called, at the disc golf course, top of the world. We'll have a really cool view of Santa Cruz. It's a good place to take a break.
Beautiful day.
So I wanted to point out that today is just a really beautiful day, and last time we did a run with us, a couple weeks ago, I was up at Fleming Meadow in the Sierras, and it wasn't just the Sierras, it was Santa Cruz, the whole Bay Area. You know, we'd had weeks of the campfire in Paradise just blanketing huge swaths of California with gnarly smoke. And since then, we've had some pretty good storms, and it's really just cleaned everything out. It's kind of amazing. It's wonderful, the transformation of the air and the ground, because everything was so dry and dusty in Santa Cruz everywhere that it's just awesome to kind of have everything cleaned out again. All right, so we made it to the final plateau, and top of the world is just up ahead, about 100 yards away. So here we are at top of the world. I'm not a great disc golfer, but I've definitely played my share of disc golf, and this is a pretty famous hole. I think they actually hold the Masters here every year in April, and I'd say the two holes that really stand out here at DeLaveaga are this one, this is the last hole, the 27th hole. It's 550 feet down to the last basket. So you're way up here. You have this huge elevation drop. You got to chuck your disc way out almost to that road. It's a lot of fun. A lot of discs get lost and end up in the trees and all over the place, but it's really an awesome way to finish your round of disc golf. The other one that's pretty famous is probably I-5.
Tell me about I-5. What's the deal?
Well, I don't know. I've always heard about it differently. I didn't get what you were saying, that the score it always gives you is a 5 or worse. So it's called I-5. I thought it was called I-5 because it's super long and straight, like I-5, the road.
The interstate.
The interstate, yes. So
we have conflicting tales.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, actually, no one ever told me this tale. It was just my own deduction. What about you? What are your sources?
I've heard people say I-5 that they got a 5. Because par is 3 on all the holes. I-5 is super long, and the basket is nestled in the huge grove of oaks.
Hardest hole in the course.
It's the hardest hole by far, and the best you're going to do is a 5 a lot of the time.
Well, you're probably right, honestly.
I could be wrong.
I don't know. Well, why would my mind be like the
crisp and clear?
No,
I don't know. I have no idea.
No, why would it be like the source? Like, why is it reliable? It's not at all. I just kind of guessed.
You have a pretty reliable mind, Ed.
You know, now we're going down the Corona Trail. It's going to be single track, whereas we had been on the fire road. So we're going to be on this single track road path for probably a mile and a half, and then we'll join up on the fire road after that. This is really the payoff to this run, because we ran that nasty hill going up, and now we have this really, really mild descent down the mountain. We just can kind of put it in cruise control, and we're running through these tall trees. It's a lot of fun. So at this point in the run, we're above the softball fields and the big sports field at the park section of DeLaveaga Park. It's great spots to barbecue and all that, but the sports fields, man, I have so many good memories. Some of my best memories are, football games we'd play out in the rain and with my brothers and friends, and then all the softball teams, tournaments and stuff like that. Anyways, it always brings up a lot of memories coming through here, and it's just an awesome park. It's probably the most beautiful park in Santa Cruz when you're there. Like in April, we do a lot of like our Easter picnic or something like that. The family will go out there. It's about 75 degrees, bright skies, and just beautiful green fields surrounded by redwood trees. All right, so we're almost done with the Corona Trail, and at this point there's going to be a little intersection, and we're gonna when the Corona Trail meets the fire road, and we're gonna want to kind of go straight through and take a right. And there's a troll. All right, one thing I was thinking about since we've been on this downhill run, the fire road and all that here at DeLaveaga, is this side is just way better. There's no comparison between this side and the other side of the mountain here at DeLaveaga. It's really amazing that the other side is very dry. It's all eucalyptus trees and it's just very arid. Then on this side, it's just way more moist. We're running through the redwood trees. Everything's green. It's just a completely different feel from the run we were on a mile and a half ago, 2 miles ago. But now we're gonna keep going on this road and we're gonna go into the neighborhoods. This is just my route that I like to take. You can find your way back to the start a lot of different ways. I just wanted to say that some people might not really like running through neighborhoods, but I actually love it because for about 10-15 years, I was doing a lot of remodel and construction type work, and I've just always been fascinated by it. I love seeing the different houses and different what they've done to landscape, or all their different approaches. There's really a lot of variety in neighborhoods, and you can get some great ideas just cruising through, and it's neat to see all the work that people have done. So we made it back to Prospect Heights and Parkway to the beginning of our run, and this has been a really good run. Just to see everything in Santa Cruz like cleaned up from the rains. It was nice and crisp, clean air out today. We saw a lot of really cool views of Santa Cruz, great views of the forests, and it was just a lot of fun. So the DeLaveaga Loop, 5.5 miles-ish. It's a lot of fun. Check it out.